there was a bumper sticker in Longview that stated, "Lucky me, I live in Longview." I feel very blessed that I live in Longview and that I raise my children in Longview. And I think we can all be very, very proud of this community that we call home.
How do we as a community continue to maintain our momentum and continue to move our community forward?
If we sit around on our laurels, we're going to get left at the train depot. So we better make that train depot really pretty if we don't plan on getting out of it.
My personal goal is to keep our community excited about the possibilities and to continue to renew the interest in being the best that our community can be. And it's going to take that renewed energy and excitement for us to continue to move forward.
I got to sit with the mayor and visit, and one of the traditions, you have to wear his gown. That gown is about 700-800 years old. It smells like it, and it's very heavy.
We've even had people talk about the squirrel population in Longview, which I understand, and I suggested how we could eradicate the squirrels. It's called Boudreaux and Thibodeau, but we didn't have squirrel problems in Louisiana.
We got to fix our bedroom if we're going to invite people over to the house. Or, no, she said you got to fix up the living room if you're going to invite people into your house. So, Miss Joy, you're not here today, but we have fixed up our living room. I'm sure the bedroom's straight too.
Well, we're having fun today.
I'm going to continue to work hard to make this community the best it possibly can be. And again, I just appreciate you giving me the opportunity to serve you. If there was one thing, that sticks out with you since becoming mayor, what is it? I said, well, it's the humility more than anything else, I think. You got to work as part of the team. And you've got to work and listen a whole lot more than you do. So that ego kind of went out the door pretty quickly. Mr. Dean, why are you really doing this? Are you working on re-election, or is it really in your heart? And I'm a mayor for all of this community. And as your mayor, I'll assure you one thing. I'm doing it from the heart. I'm going to work with every ounce of energy that I have.
And my personal goal is to make sure that when my time's up, I feel like I've left the city a better place than before I started. I'm not real good about following, the addendum. But first I want to do is I want to thank Terry Miller, Scott Shellhorst, and my buddy Sean Harrah. They've done this for years. By the way, Boudreaux and Thibodeau, they call that squirrel sauce piquant. And it's very good. And after, if you need the recipe, my wife, being a home ec major, can probably give that to you. So let me start off with saying the state of the city of Longview, Texas is great. 2005, coming into office, the thing was, when you're running for an office and like the type campaign that I was in at the time, visiting with a lot of people, trying to understand what the true issues were. I mean, you don't come into the office with the vision. You don't come in with the plan, with the strategy. That develops over a period of time. And I've been fortunate that the voters, the citizens, and most importantly, God gave me the chance to do it for 10 years. But I think that over that period of time, if you're familiar with the Collins book, Good to Great, I believe we've gone from being a good community to being a great community. Now, we don't rest on our laurels. There's the backside of that whole proposition, and it's called continuous process improvement. If my friend Richard Andrews was still here with us today, he'd love that term. But it's what we continue to do to make sure that we continue to be a great community, and it's going to take a lot of hard work. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for the fact that since 2005, I was able to work with a great group of council members a number of men and women that came and ran for the city council for the right reasons. They weren't one-issue Charlies. They weren't mad. They didn't have a financial, ooh, I'm gonna make money doing this. It was all, again, from the heart that they wanted to see Longview be the best place it could be. I believe we're right there, but there's still work to be done, and it requires the work of everybody in this room to continue doing the great things that you do to make us the kind of community we are. I wanted to run over and sort of give you one last recap of the things that we've been working on, and hopefully we'll continue to work on through the remainder of my term. First of all, very first rattle out the box in 2005, I get a call from Judge Stout. We got bus loads of people coming from New Orleans. And I guess he figured because I was from South Louisiana, I'd know how to talk to him or something. But Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Rita, and then Hurricane Ike, I mean, just one after the other. We had over 3,000 volunteers that came forward and assisted us with us in that effort. You know, we've been a community that's been able to withstand recession. We've consistently ranked as one of the best communities to do business for all of the United States, and again, most recently through Forbes, you know, a 6 rating in being, you know, a hot place to be. That's exciting. We've continued to improve our bond rating with Moody's, AA minus. My banker buddies in the room. I hate to compare us to the United States, but we got the same credit rating they got, and we're not printing our own money. You know, I think that's a pretty great thing. You know, we've worked real hard on our public safety. We've renovated our fire stations number 3, fire station number 2. We built a brand new station number 8 and a brand new station number 6. We put in place the code red emergency notification warnings. I know a lot of you here probably get that phone call at all hours of the day. But it's the type of effort that's been, you know, put in place to make sure that we protect our citizens. Our streets programs. Most of you here are familiar with the 2007 and 2011 bond issues, where we did take on a very aggressive program to improve all of our roadways. But for instance, George Ritchie Road, with the help of Judge Stout in Gregg County, the Highway 149 improvements, again with the county's help. Spring Hill Parkway, again with the county's help. Thank you, Judge. Heritage Parkway, the Real Road expansion. 4th Street, the new 4th Street extension. The Hawkins Parkway extension. Downtown, Tyler Street, Fredonia, Green Street, and next we're looking at Methven and Whaley. I think when you look at what's taking place downtown, I'm proud to say that business is coming back or is back in downtown Longview. Back in 2005, a lot of those businesses had left, and nobody's really considering that as a place to locate their business. We also focused on some quality of life issues like our parks and facilities. Lear Park. Lear Park has become exactly what we thought it would. It's become a tourist attraction. We are hosting, I mean, just thousands of children out there, from baseball to girls softball to soccer, and there's plenty of work to continue to be done there. The Paul Boorman Trail in the Stragent Dog Park, Spring Hill Park, the Neil McCoy Playground, and the Ambucks 2 universally accessible playground. All get plenty of activity. The new splash pads at Broughton, Stamper, Spring Hill, and the Jack Mann facility out at Lear, which my understanding is when it comes to splash pads in East Texas, no splash pad sees the amount of activity that pad sees. The Paula Martin Jones Recreation Center, pool renovation, the park playground, trail, and pavilion improvements that we did back in the '07 bond election. And also we renovated Maud Cobb, and we did a complete reconstruction out at the Rodeo Arena. The special initiatives was workforce development. How, and I want to thank LEDCO for championing that particular cause, but how How do we put employers and employees together through developing the type skill sets that are needed to continue to provide jobs for our community? The Main Street and downtown renovation projects, historical preservation, certified retirement community, Renew Longview. What a great effort that's been in going into some of the most devastated or older areas of the community and cleaning them up and bringing pride back to the people that live in those areas. Fittest city 2 years in a row, that's a good one. Old Governor Perry, man, we smoked them twice in a row and said we can't keep letting Longview win, we quit. So they did away with the program, but we took, the only 2 years it was working, we took the prize. So maybe one day he'll come back over here to see us again. Diversity in the workplace has been a major focus. The beautification of the community. I know Kim Drogy's out here somewhere, God bless her, but what a group of champions that have taken that project on. Our branding issue, pure and simple, we kind of stumbled a little bit on that, but I think we finally got one that works, and we're proud of that. Wayfinding. And then out I-20 corridor, the Estes Parkway entryway, Loop 281 medians and the beautification. In our community, for instance, Arts Longview and the Belcher Center at Laterno, what a gem. I mean, you talk to people, from outside of our community that have come to Longview specifically to go to a concert or entertainment at Belcher Center, and it's just incredible that we, a community our size, has those type of facilities, to serve our citizens. We've seen renovation and expansion of both of our hospitals. We are blessed to have the medical services from the two hospitals we have in this community that I will put, compared, they're world class, period. We can serve any need right here that our citizens have, and thank you to both of our hospitals. We renovated new schools. I see Dr. Wilcox back there. We have beautiful new schools all over this city. Again, traveling that I do with my business and in some of the communities around the state, they don't have the type facilities we have here. So there's been a focused effort on educating our children and providing the type facilities that we can be proud of, but that better serve the children. So thank you to all of our school districts for taking and undertaking those types of challenges. Business growth and expansion. Again, there's been a lot of projects there. We've seen a lot of our local businesses expanding their footprint. We continue to lead around the state in terms of manufacturing oil field equipment, whether I'm in the Eagle Ford at South Texas or I'm in the Permian at West Texas, the Marcellus in Pennsylvania, Bakken in North Dakota. Longview has product and representation in all of those major places. And if it wasn't for the local manufacturing base, taking that bull by the horn and expanding their business, we wouldn't have the type of employment numbers that we see in our community. Also in the community, I don't know how many of you got to go out, but to the T-Bone Walker Blues Festival. Relocating to Longview, we had our first stab at it, and let me tell you, I didn't know much about T-Bone Walker, but there was enough guitars around that place to, fill up an auditorium by itself. But T-Bone Walker influenced Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Chuck Berry. Just a number of major guitar players that still to this day recognize T-Bone Walker as the person that influenced their style of play. So hopefully the community will really get behind this particular festival and make it a centerpiece. I mentioned out there that I'm being from South Louisiana. I've been to a bunch of jazz festivals at New Orleans. Let me tell you what, this has the type potential to be something similar to that, and it brings people. We were lucky to have people from Australia, Russia, at this first inaugural event, so we want to see that grow. The U.S. National Balloon Race. how big a deal has that been? Unfortunately, the weather hadn't always been the greatest, but we've had lots of people coming into the community, and I hope Dr. Bussey and the board, they're successful in renewing that contract. I believe we deserve, to continue to host that, and hopefully we're successful in negotiating to bring the Nationals back to Longview, Texas. The Mary C. Womack Historical Marker has been received. We did the Alley Fest and Historic Depot Days, and the 4th of July event hosted by my buddy, Mr. Neil McCord. For y'all that wanted to see that other guy, I'm sorry, it didn't work out. But I think, I can't remember his name now. But anyway, I really can't. But I didn't know him when they first told me about him. But we think that event will continue to grow, and it's something that our citizens really enjoy. I mean, the number of people, I don't know what the final number was this year, but last year was 12,000 people went out there to watch fireworks, bring the kids, and have a good time. I think the number was probably substantially more this year, and it will continue, and that will continue to grow. Economic development, again, LEDCO's done a great job. The Chamber's done a great job in promoting our community and providing incentives for economic development. We're a certified work-ready community with different initiatives. Recently, we had a groundbreaking for Bates Container. Tractor Supply is coming to town. Oh, in Beirut, LEDCO, thank you. Beirut is no longer on the interstate. Time-lapse Beirut. That's a drone. Beirut today. We are ready and open for business right here. On our parks, we did expand and open a mountain bike trail. Expanded to 6.5 miles. We put in an agility equipment for the dog park. The Miracle League of East Texas fundraising for a fully accessible baseball field at Lear Park continues to move forward. We opened up a new disc golf course at Hensley Park, put in a new concession stand and a large pavilion at the Jack Mann Splash Pad. From beautification standpoint, Keep Longview Beautiful is redoing Highway 31 entryway with the Green Project. And the Love Longview campaign and success through litter cleanups continues to move forward also. Again, we talk about some of the services that we provide. When we started talking about redoing streets and adding streets, tried to compare that to the roof on your house. Your roof's only good for so long, and if you're going to keep that asset up, sooner or later you got to change your roof. And the same thing with our roads. We can keep patching and Sidney Allen's favorite, pothole chasing and fixing. We can do that for a while, but at the end of the day, you got to go back in and really do it right. So we were very fortunate the voters supported both the 2007 and the 2011 bond election by 70% for, 30% against. So we were proud that they gave us the opportunity to go out and spend the monies to improve. Green Street reconstruction, Methvin Street reconstruction, Holly Brook. We've got a number of intersections that have been upgraded, improved, enhanced. And the next big one to come as part of 2011 is the Cotton Street project. The George Ritchie Road extension continues to move forward. If you've been out that way and on McCann or Judson, you see where the road's coming through. But that is going to be a big project for the city in years to come. I think what you're going to see out there with the amount of property that's opening up for development, that is going to be a huge new tax base for the citizens of Longview. You know, obviously with that tax base, it allows us to reinvest back in the community. And I think it's important that we continue to move those type projects forward. 4th Street extension, everything's in place now. I believe the contract, Mr. Bonds, where are you? Have been issued. Don't let me lie up here, Keith. Correct, okay. I like my Aggie buddies, man. They only go. At least us Tigers go, yeah. Okay. All right. Longview Transit ridership continues to grow. We've gotten our new buses in. We've gone to the simplified collection program on our sanitation program. Now, please don't gripe just yet. Let me tell you who's doing the most griping. It's that recycling plant out there, because our tonnage went from 28 tons to 72 tons. They got more trash than they can say grace over. But that recycle is paying us $21 a ton. Contract comes up for renegotiation, Judge. I'll get you to help me with that renegotiation. But we are getting money back in now because of that, and the program continues to be, rolled out, and we go through working the bugs out. But one of the results is already there, that we're seeing a tremendous amount of recycling that's going into that plant, which means a lot less is going into our landfill. And I see my buddy James over here, with Republic Services. Thank you, James. But it's saving our landfill, but it's also long-term going to save the ratepayers some money too. So that's been a good program. The train depot grand opening in conjunction with Alley Fest. We talked about the bedroom and the living room and all that, but it's just about there. We're closing in on finishing up with that most important project for us. So what's left of the future and I term the future between now and May, which is my term. Don't know what goes past that. But anyway, the animal shelter, that project is moving forward. We should have the engineering and architectural work done in between Christmas and New Year. I'm promised by Mr. Bonds. Okay. We're gonna hopefully go to bid about mid-January and be ready to place contracts at the end of January to the first set of meetings in February. So that project is off and running. It should be there. The I-20 corridor and the Hotel Conference Center, we continue to work on getting a program done there and trying to come up with a new contract that we can get people involved. We're trying to make that a reality. I know right now we're working with the CPAC plan that's going to be focused heavily on that I-20 corridor development, which includes the Hotel Convention Center, which our community needs. As we continue, again, good to great. If we're going to be that kind of community that's inviting to people to come here, we got to give them something to come to. They've got to be able to bring their conventions and ideas and things to our community via a center like that. We can't do it. That never was what Mart Cobb was built to do. We've got to do it in the right way to get more people coming into our community. And I will hope that, after my term ends, that you do not let don't let the foot off the pedal. Keep pushing that. That is very important to the long term in our community. In conclusion, look, I want to thank everybody for the opportunity to serve. It's been fun. I think we've gotten a lot done. There's a lot more to be done, but it was not it's never a one-man deal. But leadership is about listening and understanding the issue, and then having a good, solid debate about the issue, and then moving forward. And I know my buddy Sean loves that, moving forward. But that's what it's about. Let's don't sit here and lose time. Let's make a decision. We vote and we move forward. I can remember when I was on the council in 1998 going forward. My friend David McWater's back there. And there were times, you know, people were on the council for not the right reason. They were there because they were mad about something, or they had one issue. My poor development services. Oh, I'm going to change. I'm going to get those development service guys. You know, we deal in development services with thousands of people, okay? And who are the people that normally complain about development services? It's the ones that want to cut corners. When Walmart and some of the major developers come into town, you know, they love dealing with our development services. We have room to grow. Michael Shirley's been appointed, hired, convinced to be the new director. And he's got a tall job, but I'm just saying, you don't run for the city council because you want to, you know, I mean, you got one issue like that. Let's have a good discussion and let's move forward. But to close, I'm going to try my best to do this without busting up. But yesterday, Polk and I talked about, you know, this is your last deal. your last state of the city. And she said, can't believe it's your last state of the city speech. I'm so very proud of you. I'll never forget the night you won. I mean, look, we had a tough campaign, you know, 2 different ones. And after the, you know, the campaign party was over and the adrenaline finally went, you know, I didn't sleep for probably 24 hours because my younger brother was there. He wouldn't go to sleep, wanted to stay in the pool and drink beer. Goomas, go to bed. No, I'll be all right. I'll get up with you, but I'll go shake him up at 8 o'clock. He never got out of bed. I think he showed up at 2 that afternoon. Where you want me to work? Nowhere, buddy. You just sit tight. But anyway, when everybody left the house and everything was over, man, it just all the emotion blew up. And I leaned on Pokey's shoulder and said, man, now what I'm going to do? She goes, what do you mean? I said, hell, we won. I said, I'm now the mayor. She goes, yeah. I said, I ain't exactly sure what I'm supposed to do now. You know, I mean, again, you run through and you're talking to all kind of people and they're telling you what their thoughts of the issues are and you're trying, oh, yeah, and you're agreeing a lot. And okay. But at the end of the day, you won. Now what you going to do? Now you're mayor. And her deal was, hey, you know what, just listen to God. God will give you the direction, and he has given me the direction. And for that, I'm very thankful. And, you know, people talk about now, what's next? I'm going to put that in God's hands, too. You know, maybe it'll involve serving the greater good for the community in some other area. But we're going to leave that to what the good Lord has in mind. But I thank all of you for giving me this opportunity. It's been a great opportunity. And I encourage all of y'all to run, go do it. It's a great paying job. I mean, you won't find a better paying job. But it's been a real good ride, and hopefully we've met your expectations. And I want to close with saying that whoever comes here the next time, hold them to a standard. You know, it is a privilege to be the mayor of Longview. It's not an entitlement. You are a servant leader to the citizens of Longview, and you're nothing more. And don't let the pedal off of that either. They work for you. So make sure when you select the next person. Thank you all very much. God bless y'all. He's got some more trick stuff here.
I think the mayor's a little worried, but before we go to question and answer, I just had a question for you. I don't know if anybody's ever asked you this or not, but did you know you have a slight accent?
No.
I hadn't noticed it, but
Now, where are you from?
I'm from Southeast Texas.
Oh, I thought you were from Mississippi.
No, not Mississippi. But I noticed it earlier, and I want to ask the group, At one point, I heard myself sounding like the mayor. Did you notice that? You've always heard when you work around people, you start sounding like them, you start looking like them, and you start acting like them. So, Mr. Mayor, we want you to take a stance over there, and we've got a little bit of a video from your staff. And tell me after if they're sounding, looking, and acting like Mayor Dean.
Hello, my name is Jay Dean.
My name is Jay Dean from Opelousas, Louisiana. We didn't invent politics, we perfected it.
I love them Tigers from Baton Rouge. Go LSU.
And I want to thank my good friend Bill Stout and the county and all the money they've brought to the table in this public-private partnership. And as I talk to Judge Stout, remember, what's good for me is good for you, is good for me.
They wanted me to talk in a Cajun dialect, but when we both came up from South Louisiana, I checked my dialect at the border and you kept yours.
JD has always been a pretty good talker, and he knows how to talk, and that's his gift.
And the first time he spoke my name and he called me Dr. Mac, I didn't know who he was speaking to, but he was looking at me, so I knew it had to be me.
Them Tigers are lean, mean, and tough this year. Watch out, Bama.
I answer the phone, hello, and on the other end, there's only one voice that says, "Hey girl, what's going on?"
Jay, congratulations on a job well done, but I always remember this, I still can't talk Cajun.
This is Mayor Jay Dean, Mayor of the city of Longview, Texas. Mr. Allen, what do you got, Mr. Allen? Come on, Sidney, come on with it.
We're going to put your picture in the ante room and have it in there every night when we eat, because you were always the guy that left early to go home.
We were in the early discussion stages of the event center. I said, Jay, I said, this is a very aggressive project that you're really wanting to do. I said, how do you plan that we pay for it? And he said, oh, brother, don't worry about that. Let's build it. We'll worry about paying for it later. And I said, what?
Mr. Sidney Allen pulled me aside after the meeting and he said, Kristen, there are only 2 things you need to know about serving on the Longview City Council. And I said, well, yes, sir, what's that? And he said, number 1, Mr. Jay Dean is always right. And I said, okay, well, what's number 2? He said, number 2, if you get confused or lost during a meeting, you just refer back to number 1 and we'll all be all right.
And you know, the downside of being this job is having to deal with that city manager. You know, I have worked hard to try to get him to do exactly what I say.
Jay, it has been an honor serving with you. We've had ups, downs, but we always manage to come all the way around and work everything out together.
Jay, congratulations on a great run. I'm really proud of you, proud to have served with you, and wish you the best in the future. Go Tigers.
Some of those times on City Council, those 2.5 years I was on City Council with you as a council member, then when you became mayor, was some of the best memories I have of my life.
We served together on the Longview City Council, and at that time I saw his leadership skills and vision for the future of Longview. Our city's been fortunate to have him provide leadership all these years.
The mayor has set a standard that I think that the next mayor that will come behind him will have to come up to that level.
I also want to say thank you, because this wonderful wardrobe I have on tonight, if it hadn't been for you, all this stuff would be in the closet together in mothballs. Anyway, it's been enjoyable, it's been a nice time, and I wish you well in the future.
I appreciate all the service you've given to the community, for the time you've spent, the sacrifices you've made, Jay. You've made a big difference, and I wish you the very best in your future endeavors. I know you're going to do well. Go get them, Dr. Dean.
Well, Jay, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago before we were both running for the first time to sit on the city council. But I guess it was, since then our kids were young, and now we're both grandparents and probably have a little bit more gray hair.
Jay, I want to tell you, It's been quite an experience working with you over the last 24 months. I really enjoy your service and your leadership for this city. We're gonna miss you very much. Take care of yourself. I wish you the best and God bless you.
Mayor, I want to thank you for the service that you've given Longview, and it's been a pleasure working with you, and I wish you the best in the future.
Jay, we had a great 9 years serving together. You were a great leader, and I appreciate you very much.
Your service to the city of Longview has probably been one of the best that of any mayor that we've ever had.
Like I say, thank you so much for your leadership, and I wish you the very best in the future.
Thank you for the memories. Thank you for what you've done for the city of Longview and Gray County, and we will miss you as a leader in Longview, Texas.
I really appreciate all you've done for the city of Longview. You've been a great mayor. Thank you.